So, I'm not quite in the mood to go sleep yet, even though it's about 4 AM, which definitely isn't a good idea in any way whatsoever. But oh well, that's just how my brain works. Being very annoying and very unhelpful when I really don't want it to. I mean, I don't have to do anything tomorrow, but still, it's not good for a healthy day-night cycle. So let's instead talk about the YouTube algorithm. Yes, I know, random. For some reason it popped into my mind. I think I was watching some videos comparing stuff. Comparing different, I don't know, social media things, and apparently YouTube is on that as well. But yeah, the YouTube algorithm, as it has been described to me from a couple of sources. Some stuff I seen YouTube say, some stuff from MatPat, who seems to really be diving into how that algorithm works, and Jim Sterling, who is really annoyed with how that algorithm works. I have kind of made this type of mental picture of how that really what it is, because I don't think it's a normal program. It's not something that the average coder can understand. For instance, the site, just YouTube the site, it's actually pretty... I mean, sites are... well, at least the normal layout is relatively simple. I have probably just insulted a lot of people with that, but yeah, in my mind, it's... building a site is not that hard. Don't know if I'll be able to show you a bit of the site I made for the last school project, which we put together, me and a group of 6, in, I don't know, was it something like 7-8 weeks or something? Putting a site together isn't the hardest thing of all time. Just HTML and CSS, and probably some type of base to build on. God, what were those things called? Frameworks? Could be frameworks. But yeah, that's... I mean, making it look good, that's of course a lot more complicated. And YouTube does have a pretty good style, just visually it works, generally. But of course, that's not really programming, that's somebody doing good design, but it's not complicated to put together. But what videos get recommended and all that type of stuff, and figuring out what type of stuff you watch and all of that, well, that has not been described to me like it's a normal program. Because that algorithm, I don't think anybody knows how it works anymore. I get the feeling that it's a bit of code that started out just pretty simple. Just, alright, the more views something gets, the more it gets promoted. And then the longer it's watched, the more it gets promoted. So they tweaked some stuff in the code and now it does something slightly different. And I think they kept tweaking it and tweaking it and tweaking it all the time. And I have the idea that, well, they probably try to also make it learn how to detect, just learn what type of stuff gets popular. Just try to introduce bits that make it figure out what type of videos are watched much. So I think it's a code that's been tweaked over God knows how many years, and that they kind of... I don't think anybody knows how the program works. I think it's this thousands of lines of code long thing, behemoth of a monster, that goes through the entire database in ways that's not able to be followed at this point anymore. No one still knows how every single bit of code works. Because I think it calls back to other bits of the code all over the place. It's probably just a completely messy code that people kept introducing new bits into because new things became important. I mean, I don't know if this is the case because unlike the site, which is very easy to look at how it's been done, I mean, I don't know the exact way it's been done because I can't see PHP code, it's just the pure HTML code, but yeah, just the HTML code, I can just watch that. That's something you can very simply watch for every single video there is, for every site there is. Which, by the way, is really nice because, hey, let's say you want to copy a thumbnail for some reason. For instance, you want to do a reaction, so you want to take somebody's thumbnail and then do something with it. Well, if you know how to search through the HTML code, you can actually find that picture, because you normally can't anymore, because of the preview bit it plays. But yeah, I, unsurprisingly, can't get into the algorithm. I can't take a look at that. Which they probably don't want to, although don't know if they would really fear me going into that. Because, well, from what I've heard, YouTube cannot... It doesn't exactly know how the algorithm works anymore. I don't think this is the type of code you can just look through and see how it works. I think it's past the point of human comprehension. And of course you also can't take a look at the database and see what type of stuff it does with it, because the database it works with is every data point YouTube has. And YouTube has a lot of data points. I could show you the analytics just a stupid YouTuber like me has access to, but that would give some stuff away about the people who watch my videos, and, well, I'm not comfortable giving away information about my viewers, unsurprisingly. But yeah, I think YouTube just has this code that's just... Well, they can't rewrite it, because, well, you would have to rewrite the entire thing and get it to work just as well as it does now, which... It doesn't sound that hard, but improvements for over God knows how many years, probably not something that's easy to replace. I mean, the algorithm, it's not exactly perfect, now is it? It's very bad at recommending new stuff to you. It just likes recommending the same stuff to you over and over and over again. I mean, for some stuff I don't mind. For music things, for instance, I don't mind listening to the same song a lot of times, because that's what I want to do anyway. But if I want to listen to the same songs again, I'll manage that myself. I would like it if YouTube recommended some new music to me. But yeah, I don't think they can... It feels like one of those things that you always lose. Because keep the code, well then you're stuck with a code that really probably becomes more and more unwieldy. Just, there is no way to get it to work exactly like you want it to, because you don't know how it works. I mean, I know this is all speculation, but that's what I'm gathering. So either you continue with the code you don't have full control over, and that reminds me of a joke I read somewhere of just, only I and God knew how this code worked when I wrote it. Now only God knows. Don't try to fix it, because everybody tried and we have lost like 200 hours to it. Or if you try to, add your hours to it to discourage other people. Something like that. So either you're working, trying to improve code that nobody exactly knows how it works, or you try to rewrite all the code with all the improvements of God knows how many years at this point. it sounds like a situation where you can't win. And possibly with a bit of luck, that gives some competition to YouTube the chance to break through. Because, yes, I want YouTube to have some bloody competition because, well, fuck YouTube, mainly. I mean, not because their servers are fine, for the most part. But, well, they fail to communicate, they fail to do basic stuff, just... Your business is people making videos for you. And you never communicate anything. Yeah, I don't like YouTube as a company, which might not be as much YouTube as it might be Google, but yeah, I don't like it. I don't like how they do stuff. And, well, I think a big part of that is just they have no competition. Why wouldn't you just do what sounds best for you when there is no reason not to, because, well, you can't do anything wrong. Because, hell, where are they going to go? I mean, I guess they can go to Twitch, but it's still... YouTube is still the best place for videos and Twitch is still the best place for streaming. YouTube doesn't have to worry about Twitch or any other platform yet. It's the same problem I kind of feel with Bethesda. Nobody's competing with Bethesda either, which isn't good for the company. I want Bethesda to have some bloody competition. Just, I'm mostly left-leaning, but yeah, capitalism, there are some aspects of that which are good. Competition helps. Competition pushes you forward. One of the best competitions I heard of, one of the best competitions around, in my opinion, because I generally don't like I don't like watching competitions, but a really cool one is the solar powered cars race. Because their competition pushes forward technology. That's just bloody cool. And of course it helps that the Netherlands often does well in that for some reason. Don't know why, because I don't think that sun is really the best way for us to gather renewable power. Because, well, we just don't have that much space, I think. We're a bad country for solar power. Wind power would be way better, or if we could get some installations that get power out of salt water and sweet water coming together. Because yes, you can actually get energy out of that, it's just... well, it's a bit complicated to find a place where to do it. And yes, we actually did kind of research on that in middle school, I think it's called. I don't know school names. Can you tell that I'm rambling? Can you tell that it's far past midnight? Probably not, this sounds like my regular type of ramble. But yeah, I think YouTube has an untamable beast of a code that they can't do anything with, which might give some competition a way to beat them, to at least give them something to compete against, because YouTube needs competition, just like Bethesda needs competition, but at least Bethesda is... I feel like Bethesda aren't pushing themselves as much, where YouTube just... Bethesda needs it to be better. YouTube needs it to just be good again. If it ever was good in the first place. For some reason they let me put this on their site. Because, I don't know. Either they don't mind criticism or they can't find criticism yet. We'll see in sometimes when they add something new to the algorithm, which makes it even more unwieldy, but hey, now you can't criticize your site on the site anymore, or something. This has been Phoenix, saying farewell.